All right. Hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again. Now, if you know me, you know I love the Spyro the Dragon series, mainly the original trilogy. Yeah, I may have mentioned it just a few times, just here and there on the channel. I might have made a couple of videos about it, but nothing too crazy. But that being said, even though I absolutely love Spyro the Dragon, it's probably one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. And the prospect of it getting a sequel potentially does make me excited. Now, I did want to make a discussion video for a potential Spyro sequel when the news broke. The only thing is, I've been on the internet for a bit. It's there's a lot of stuff that's been over the years, especially when it comes to like Spyro and stuff like that. There's stuff that's been teased. They'll make like a reference or something like that, and nothing comes of it. So I'm definitely now treating it like a wait and see. Now, oh, by all means, don't get it misconstrued. Dude, if we do in fact get another Spyro, I will literally jump for joy. But until that happens, I am maintaining radio silence when at least when it comes to that. We gotta wait for it to actually materialize, especially with everything else being delayed as it is, with GTA 6 potentially being delayed again. Yeah, I'm not going to get my hopes up just yet. But yeah, like I said, even despite the fact that I love the Spyro the Dragon video game series, there are some things about it that annoy me. Some grievances, some gripes that I have with the series, admittedly. And, no video game series is perfect. Nobody bats 1,000. But it's time for me to put some of these grievances on the table. Here are things in Spyro that frustrate slash annoy me. I'll be completely honest. I'll be fully transparent. A lot of these are kind of mild. Well, some actually concerning, but it's pretty mild for the most part. Just minor inconveniences on my end. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so starting with number 10, we have the Alchemist from Spyro 2. You knew it was coming, and you knew it was going to be on here. You knew it had to be on here. The Alchemist. Probably the most hated character besides Moneybags as in the Spyro, the dragon mythos. Oh, so the alchemist is blind, and he needs help getting around. He needs help being escorted. Even despite Hunter literally being like a turn to the left, his left are also left because I don't know. Oh, you get the idea. But even despite Hunter being right there, no, he insists on twisting all around the Earth Shapers, or is making you have to go right into the line of fire. And unfortunately, when it comes to the Earth Shapers, either he's getting hit or you are. All right. It's a very, very annoying mission, and for starters, one that you shouldn't do on your first visit to Fractured Hills. That is if you're going for 100%. If you're beating it normally and you just go to Fractured Hills just to finish the level and get the talisman and peace out of there, if you're not worried about getting orbs, even though you should be because Winter Tundra requires them, then then you can, and by all means, just beat the levels and split. But the fact that if you're going for 100%, I would strongly advise that you don't do the alchemist on the first time around, because you won't have the head bash ability just yet. And then when you go to get the other orb for Hunter taking out the Earth Shaper, then you'll have to redo both missions, because Spyro 2 isn't like Spyro 3, where once you do one, then or once you finish a level, then it's finished and you get the path going forward. So yeah, you can revisit just about any point in the level. No, with Spyro 2, if you beat the level and you go back to the level at all, you gotta do the whole level all over again. And hell, they even repeat the dialogue all over again. I guess that's something else to add, but I didn't feel like adding it. But Next up, and I guess that's something else that annoys me. That didn't quite make the list, but I guess it should have. So, I guess that's two things. And now I can't really fault it because Spyro 2 came out before Spyro 3. They probably didn't want to do it just yet, and so that would be kind of cheating. But the other thing, I guess, is the fact that if you're going for 100%, or if you at least want to get the orb for defeating the Earth Shapers, that you gotta do the Alchemist mission twice. But yeah, so that is the first one out of the way. Next up on the list, however, number two, who is the Fireflies from Spyro 3. Hey, did you hate the Alchemist mission from Spyro 2? You did? Oh, that's a shame. Well, I know what'll cheer you up. How about two of them? So the Fireflies in Spooky Swamp, pretty much like as my little joking spiel there would suggest, pretty much the same as the Alchemist mission, guiding them around, making sure you have to stomp the mushrooms and knock the bulls out of the way. And this is a mission you do as Sheila. Um, Except this time around, there are two fireflies, so you have to pretty much escort both of them around, and you pretty much have to babysit them the whole time. At least with the Earth Shapers, you can knock them out of the way, but if you take out the mushrooms or the boulders too early, then there's a chance you're probably going to lose. And make no mistake, you're not going to get this your first go around. Oh no, I've been playing it for years, and I still haven't gotten to the first go around. I'm literally playing Spyro again for the PC, which is what this gameplay is going to be on screen. And I'm also playing it on my Steam Deck as well. And even I couldn't get the Fireflies on the first go around. Now, some people had complained that the boulders don't respawn in Reignited. Like once you hit the boulders, they're gone for good. But in Reignited, a lot of people felt like it took away the challenge. You know what? Good, because that's one less thing to worry about, and that makes it significantly easier actually. Because then you just got to worry about the mushrooms. Then it'll take you only a couple attempts and a couple times of babysitting instead of fully having to fully follow the firefly. Try saying that 5 times fast, but yeah. So oh, the fireflies took your trouble and made it double, literally. But now number three, he also coming from Spyro 3 for the game that's my favorite in the entire original trilogy, that being Spyro 3. Most of these are Spyro 3, yeah, which is kind of surprising, but I guess it just goes to show thus is the duality of dragon. But number three is the skateboard race. Which one on either Lost Fleet or Super Bonus Round? Yes, but so the skateboard race. You remember that fun little skateboarding section you had in both Sunny Villa and Enchanted Towers? Now, how's about a race out of all of it? It's admittedly the track for Lost Fleet, and I guess to an extent Super Bonus Round isn't super duper long, and once you play it enough times, you kind of get it down packed. You know all the shortcuts to take, but man, it's a pain in the ass, especially when you try to perform tricks and you end up failing it. And especially when you try to go for both eggs, first beating the Rhinox and then for beating Hunter while taking out all the crabs. But then what really will make you hate this race more than anything, and that's definitely the case with me, is when you go for the skill points. I mean, just like the other two skateboard tracks, there is a skill point here, except this one's different. And while the skill point is for getting the high score for the amount of tricks, it's the one for skateboard or race, the one in Lost Fleet that is for the skateboard race is to beat it within the time of a minute 45. At least that's how it is in Reignite. I think that's how it was in the original as well. I should probably look that up, but but yeah, so minute 40, minute 45, I should say, or is it minute 45? I'm gonna look it up just to fact check, uh, but yeah, getting that skill points is absolutely agonizing. Let's see, skateboard. Oh no, that's for. Uh, This thing. Okay, so I got let's see here, but it does become pretty agonizing, and it does become pretty grating once you try to go for it. Minute 45 at least for reignited. It but you will fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail. Well, hit you are going to have a tough time getting that record. And it becomes especially difficult in Reignited because sometimes the game will glitch out, and even if you pass the finish line to finish third lap, they'll make you do a fourth lap anyway, and that'll wrap up. And lo and behold, oh man, you couldn't get the time because you had to do a whole extra lap. Oh, I guess you didn't get the skill points. Right now, a little tip slash trick it is if you're gonna do tricks because they do give you extra boost. So, against other people's advice, I do recommend tricks. It's just do the backflips. The backflips are probably the easiest to pull off because it's just as holding triangle and then moving the joystick up and down until you get the backflip and everything. Just spam that a bunch. Now, if you get the trick like the nasty Nork, or I think even like the twisted lemon, and you get, I think just the nasty Nork, you get a full bar or of a boost. But the boost is the only thing that's going to allow you to make a decent time and get that skill point. So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, the race pretty much sucks. But number four, and we're going back, and for number four, we're going back to Spyro 1 this time. I'm Treetops. Honestly, just all of Treetops. Did you like the supercharge or in the other sections in the other levels such as high caves? Good. How about a whole level dedicated to it, where literally you can't even beat the level without having a decent understanding of the supercharge. Now, this level, I guess, kind of serves as a supercharge tutorial in a way, but my goodness, the leaps and stuff you have to make, and the insane supercharged jumps you have to pull off, not one but two insane jumps. It wears on you. I still can't even get it my first try. I think I did relatively okay with it this time around when I played it on PC, and I think also when I played it on stream. But man, it is a nightmare to pull off. You will be at it quite a bit. And thankfully, because of my experience, I'm not at it quite as much. I think this time around I only died at this like recent time playing on PC. I only died like maybe two or three times, but yikes on bikes. But no, that's out of the way. Number five, and this one sucks because this is in one of my favorite levels in Spyro 3, that being Fireworks Factory, the Twin Dragons. You know what time it is you gotta chase around these dragons and flame them at every chance you get, knocking their piece off one by one by one. All the whole time I'm making sure they don't fire at you because they will fire at you who back, but also B, they regenerate. So if you leave one alone for too long, then it'll grow a significant portion of its body back. And they will go through the caves. There's two like little tunnel areas that they will go into. So you gotta chase them around, and you pretty much have to be on their tails the entire time. And to make matters worse, the reason I said twin dragons is because there's not one but two of them, and you gotta take them out both for the egg. My goodness, I absolutely can't stand this, and my patience for it has worn even thin once I got older. Just be prepared to spend quite a bit of time going after this egg in particular. If you had plans, and you should either cancel those plans or at least push them back by like an hour or two or three, just to be safe. But now moving on to number six, Agent Nine's section in Dino Mines. And it's now how Agent Nine is probably is it a hot take to say Agent Nine's my least favorite hit bonus character in Spyro 3? I feel like that's not that hot of a take. And it's sections like this uh, that are the reason why. I honestly, if you really think about it, when it comes to all like the bonus sections that characters have, and even in the individual levels within Spyro 3, Agent 9 sections are always the worst. Or whether it be the one in whether it be either one in Fireworks Factory, the Doom style one, which admittedly isn't that hard once you get older, just kind of time consuming and kind of clunky, or whether it's whether it's the 3D top down and away section in Haunted Tomb, which admittedly is probably the best out of all three of his sections, which really isn't saying much. Or whether it's this monstrosity, an on-rail shooter, or where you gotta take out the dinosaurs, and you pretty much have to fire well ahead of time because the dinosaurs will hit you. They are quicker to the draw than you are, and there is a lot of them. You will quickly get overwhelmed. Now, if you play games like Buck Hunter or like the Terminator arcade games, like at Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese, you're probably well prepared. But even while playing those games, this section still absolutely sucks. I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being, and it sucks because as I know I'm gonna have to do it again when I go to beat Midnight Mountain in this current run I'm on. Excuse me. Hey, Agent 9, why do you have to suck so hard? Or now, it's interesting that out of all the characters, I guess it's kind of a little fun fact, Agent 9 doesn't have as many sections in like the other levels proper as the other character. Hers, uh, because especially with all the characters having their own sections and levels in three of the home world, Sheila has a level, or has a section, I should say, in Sunrise Spring, Midday Garden, and Midnight Mountain, and Bentley has one in Midday Garden, Evening Lake, and Midnight Mountain, and Sergeant Bird has one in Sunrise Spring, and Midday Garden, and Evening Lake. Hey, Agent Nine only has sections in Evening Lake and Midnight Mountain, and they gave him two of them. Or actually, hey, now that I counted, that's actually the correct amount. But did you really want more Agent Nine, especially with stuff like this? Is now I wonder if that little like secret area that you're able to find in Dynamite Hines that has like the section where it was rumored you were going to fight a member of the dinosaur gang or whatever, or that you can get to. I wonder if that was also meant for Agent 9, but that's kind of speculation on my part. I obviously don't know for sure, but yeah. As for Agent 9's actual section in Dynamite, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But now moving on to number 7, and that being both the slide and the tank battle in Haunted Tomb. When it comes to bonus areas where you can get eggs, Haunted Tomb probably has to be one of the worst. Because honestly, now that I'm older, I hate Haunted Tomb way more. Or it's to the point where the only thing that saves Haunted Tomb from me is the aesthetic, like the ancient Egypt aesthetic and everything. Because just about everything else about the level sucks. First of all, there's the super hard slide that you are not gonna get on your first try, where you pretty much have to turn mid slide and hope to God you don't fall off. Why couldn't you be more like Crystal Islands, where it was just a straight shot down, maybe had a turn every now and then? And if you're gonna copy Super Mario 64, do it right, guys. And then there's the tank battle. Well, oh, where you have to go in the tank and take out the Rhinox. Who often hide behind the candles and who fire before you even know what's going on. You will die quite a bit at doing this section, and this section absolutely sucks. It's not fun. It's pretty boring, and you will die a lot. And the cherry on top, the brown cherry on top of the suspiciously smelling chocolate sundae, you have to do it twice. So one regular and then once for the championship round. Thankfully, he at least in the second one, on the one tank and far away, you can kind of hit from far away if you're standing straight forward. The other two off to the side, you have to go up to, and you're going to get hit quite a bit. I hope I hope you got Spyro, not Spyro, Sparks stocked up to full yellow. If you go in with anything less, even if you go in with blue Sparks, you're going to die. You gotta have them full health, full yellow, because you're definitely going to need it, and you're definitely going to need that extra hit point as well. But now moving on to number 8, heading back to Spyro 1, we have the lizards and misty bogs. Admittedly, I could probably put the trees on here as well, but the lizards especially, I really hate. At least now that I'm older, the trees are a bit more predictable. But man, oh man, those lizards are the bane of my existence. Super long tongues hit you from far away, probably a better sniper than the end. But my goodness, as you will have quite the headache. When it comes to taking out these creatures, or is these absolute abominable creatures, or is, or is these these lizards are absolutely brutal. They will hit you quite a bit, and there's quite a few of them in the level. Well, I guess the goal is to, I guess the trick is to stay as clear of them as possible. But jeez, my God, what a nightmare these are. But and now moving on to number 9, the submarine section in Lost Fleet. Admittedly, I probably could have put this along with the skateboard race, but I also wanted to, I guess, rag on the skateboard race and super bonus round as well. So I guess that works out there. But the submarine section, and funnily enough, it's the section that they show in the demo if you let the disc sit long enough on the original Spyro 3s. That being said, this submarine section kind of sucks. Admittedly, it's not super duper bad, but you pretty much have to chase the submarines around, wait until you're fully locked on, then hit them with the missile. Well, you will be there quite a bit for quite a while. And you pretty much have to hunt down the submarines, and especially, and you have to be careful when they fire back. But they don't fire back until the second time you have to do it. Yes, this is another one where you have to do twice. Why was it the annoying sections that you had to do twice? Hey, what the hell, Spyro 3? But yeah, the submarine section. Like I said, it's probably not the worst thing in the world, but it does get pretty annoying and pretty old pretty fast. And number 10 is pretty much most of Super Bonus Round from Spyro 3 once again. Yes, as famously, Spyro 3 was very rushed. Very rushed development. It still worked out though. And this game and Crash Insanity are proof that rushed development isn't always a bad thing, or at least doesn't always result in a bad game. But that being said, and I think this bonus level, is probably undeniable, irrefutable, undisputed proof of how rushed Spyro 3 is in the section super bonus round. It feels like of all the mini games, now the fact that they added back the treasure collecting aspect that you had in like Nasty's loot, admittedly was a very good thing, and it is satisfying collecting all the gems. But of all the minigame sections, all the stuff you could have included to get gems, and they included some of the worst ones. They included the skateboard race, and they included the submarine section. How'd you have two from Lost Fleet? What the hell? Hell, even in the original version of Spyro 3 before the greatest hits version, where the music tracks weren't finished, even in the music there shares the one from Lost Fleet. Or I should say Lost Fleet shares this music track. It's not until greatest hits that it gets its own track, that being just a remix of Sheila's theme. But yeah, Super Bonus Round is pretty forgettable in terms of bonus levels. And finally, there's the second fight with the sorceress, which is somehow even more bland than the first. This time you're just chasing around the saucer, and the saucer controls very poorly, so you're gonna have quite a tough time. But yeah, super bonus round, not great. And now, oh, that's the main list out of the way. But I do still have some dishonorable mentions. And so let's calm down. The first one, let's just get out of the way. Yeti boxing, from Spyro 3. He, uh, what can be said about Yeti boxing that hasn't already been said? So we're kind of just breeze past that. The second one is, and there's a couple of these that are from Reignited more specifically, and that is the fact that the Electrolls in Hurricos in Spyro 2 don't sound like SpongeBob anymore. Now, I imagine it had been 20 years since the original Spyro. A lot of stuff had been revoiced and reworked, so that makes sense. But uh but and the other thing is, I imagine a lot of people probably don't care, but I think one of the things that really drew me to Hurricos, besides the environment and the music, because both are very fantastic for or not just Hurricos but Spyro 2 as a whole, but especially Hurricos. One of the other things that really drew me in was the fact that the Electrolls sounded exactly like SpongeBob. Now, yes, as they were also voiced by Tom Kenny, which as you grow older, you realize Tom Kenny has voiced most of your childhood, but especially in the case of the Electrolls here, and he was the voice of Spyro in Spyro's 2 and 3, the original, and all throughout Reignited. That's cool as well. But the Electrolls, those don't sound like SpongeBob anymore in Reignited, and that very much makes me sad. And it doesn't really frustrate or annoy me like the title would suggest, as the title of the video and the subject matter of the video would suggest. It just more so makes me sad. Like, come on, man, we had a good thing going. Why'd you have to ruin it? It's The number three thing is the unnecessary moneybags appearance in Spooky Swamp from Spyro 3. This is the only moneybags section that you can skip normally. The rest you have to go outside the box for, but this is the only moneybags section that is not necessary, because as you can like breeze right past it. I mean, he just opens the door that you can get to that section from by other means, which begs the question: why is he there in the first place? What's the point of him being there? Or honestly, him there just for that section to be unnecessary. That being you don't have to pay money back to access that area. You're going to access it anyway. What's the point of him being there? You just made more work for yourself by putting money bags there. Or if you wanted to have money bags say a haiku, there probably could have been other ways to do so. But yeah, it's very weird why he's there in the first place if you can just bypass him. And I thought about putting money bags on this list, but you know what? Just like Yeti Boxing would also be too easy. Yeah, although you could probably also say the same thing about the Alchemist, but any chance I get to rag on the Alchemist, I will gladly take. But also B, you kind of grow to love money bags over the years. As you get older, or your fondness for money bags grows. He next on the dishonorable mentions is the music stopping early for the bone dance in Enchanted Towers in Spyro 3. Admittedly, this one's pretty minor, and this one's probably just me, but the skeleton that they brought back from Skilo's Badlands in Spyro 2 also doing a dance. And once you collect all his bones in Enchanted Towers, it was nice. It was a nice callback. Like, but in the original Spyro 3, he dances for a little bit. They play the music they're supposed to. But unlike Skeel's Badlands, where it wrapped up in time for him to finish his dance, in Enchanted Towers in Spyro 3, not so much luck, because as the music ends, he's still doing his dance, which just goes to show this one's a lot longer than the original. Uh, but then it just goes back to playing the theme for Enchanted Towers, which is pretty much just Sergeant Bird's theme. Why didn't Enchanted Towers get its own theme? I get Sergeant Bird's there and he can patrol around Enchanted Towers, so I get that aspect. And it probably another symptom of rush development. But why didn't Enchanted Towers get its own theme? That's kind of weird. But even in like the greatest hits version, once that came out, Enchanted Towers still had the Sergeant Bird theme. I don't know, maybe that's just minor. Just like this is probably mine. I'm sure most people probably don't care, but it was just something small that annoyed me. And then the last one, and this is something that a lot of people complain about, is some of the designs for Reignited. For the most part, they did a great job with Reignited. Like even going back and playing it several years later, or this time now on PC, a lot of the designs look fantastic. It looked really nice. But some of the designs I'm not the biggest fan of. There's designs such as Sheila's from Spyro 3, which is very divisive with the hair and the jackets. But some of the other ones I'm not the biggest fan of include the spiders in high caves in Spyro 1. The fact that they look like actual spiders now instead of just giant metallic beings with 8 blue legs. Admittedly, them changing that had made them less scary. They're made more scary by the fact that they chase you automatically now instead of just crawling around like normal. Well, but I wish they didn't change that design. Then there's the seals from Spyro 3, more specifically in Seashell Shore, or they look more like real seals now, real purple seals, I guess, but real seals nevertheless. But they do look kind of weird. And then that's just to name a couple. Some of the a lot of the designs are pretty cool, but some of them don't quite hit the mark, in my opinion. But and the fact that also they made Buzz from Spyro 3 cute and cuddly now. He honestly looks like Wrecking Ball from Skylander. I don't know if I ever made that comparison, but he looks exactly like how Wrecking Ball looks from Skylanders. But and even like Spike, hey, as well from Spyro 3, I'm not the biggest fan of. But some of the redesigns, I get where they were going for, and making things more modern and realistic, but also keeping it cartoony. And like I said, for the most part, the redesigns are pretty cool, but some of them don't quite land the same. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this discussion video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on those post notifications so you know every single time I upload a video so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comment section below what are things from Spyro that annoy you. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.